Hello friends! Gasoline engines are of American origin. These are interesting units. The base volume of 3.6 liters belongs to the new Pentastar series. In combination with an 8-speed automatic transmission, it is quite lively and consumes 11 to 15 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. The 3.6's first years of production may have required repairs due to a design flaw in the rocker. One of them could jam, which led to wear of the hydraulic compensator and camshaft. If an extraneous knock is detected, the rocker and hydraulic lifters should be replaced. Fortunately, the problem was not widespread, and after the first quarter of 2013, modernized rockers began to be installed, and the defect ceased to occur. It is worth mentioning the moment associated with the removal of the catalyst. After this procedure, often the engine begins to consume a lot of oil. To avoid this, instead of the native catalyst, at least it is necessary to install a universal catalyst. In the cars of the 2015 model year, a new base engine appeared, a 3-liter naturally aspirated V6. The rest of the gasoline engines are V8, with a volume of 5.7 liters, 6.4 liters, and 6.2 liters. From a technical point of view, the 5.7 is a rather strange unit. 1 camshaft in the block and 16 valves. At the same time, it is quite strong and moderately economical. The 5.7 V8 is equipped with a half-cylinder deactivation system. The system is very sensitive to oil quality. After prolonged use of low-grade motor oils, deposits form that block the operation of the system. To restore its functionality, everything has to be disassembled and cleaned. For the 5.7 HEMI, by analogy with the V6 3.6, the problem with rockers eating up the camshaft is also characteristic. The disease can manifest itself after 150 to 250,000 kilometers. The diesel 3.0 V6 is the fruit of a collaboration between Fiat and VM. Initially, the turbo diesel was designated as CRD and then as multijet. The Grand Cherokee 4 never had a turbo diesel from Mercedes. One of the disadvantages of gasoline and diesel V6s is the oil cooler, heat exchanger, leak. In addition, oil can enter the cooling system. The supports of the power unit reach 150 to 200,000 kilometers. The radiator of the cooling system can leak in 6 to 8 years. Gearboxes have a significant impact on dynamics and fuel consumption. All of them are automatic, but the supplier has changed over the years. The previously familiar 5-speed automatic NAG1 from Mercedes in 2014 gave way to the 8-speed ZF. It allowed to reduce fuel consumption by about 1 liter. In the case of the older 5-speed automatic transmission, in addition to changing the oil, you have to fix its leaks. They appear as a result of seal wear. With timely detection, it will be possible to get by with a repair that almost any service can handle. Otherwise, the box will fail. Other common 5-speed automatic failures are failure of the electrical board or torque converter lockup solenoid. At first, a classic selector was used to control the gearbox, and since 2013, a non-fixed lever, which independently returned to its original position after the gear was engaged. The solution turned out to be not very successful. It is easy to make a mistake with the P mode setting. As a result, the car could move when the engine remained running and the driver got out of the car. In the future, the manufacturer updated the control program as part of a free service campaign. And since 2017, they again began to use the classic type gear selector with fixed positions. Off-road capabilities largely depend on the transmission. Basic versions imported privately from abroad can be rear-wheel drive. These cars are not worth buying. There are several all-wheel drive versions of the transmission. Usually these are Quadra Track 2 and Quadra Drive 2. Both use a center differential and gearbox. In the first version, you have to be content with only blocking the wheels with the help of brakes. And in the QD2, there is an electronically controlled rear differential lock, ELSD. In the predecessor, ELSD was also in the front axle, but here it is only in the rear. There is also quadra-track, modifications of SRT and Trackhawk. This is the same transmission as the QT2, but without the gearbox. Sometimes the transmission needs repair. For example, when there is noise from the rear gearbox, the bearings wear out. Typical for gasoline versions of the first years of production. Over time, oil leaks in the area of the rear axle may be detected. Seals are to be replaced. Neglect ends in costly repairs. After 150 to 200,000 kilometers, the ELSD rear differential lock motor may fail. Individual owners had to change the failed transfer case control module. The transfer chain is durable and does not cause problems. The elements of the chassis are relatively durable. After 100 to 150,000 kilometers, the silent blocks of the front levers may require attention. A little later, ball bearings are surrendered. Silent blocks of levers on the rear axle usually serve over 150 to 200,000 kilometers. But the silent blocks of the rear subframe can wear out after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. Soon, it is the turn of the silent blocks of the rear gearbox. In older cars, you will have to reckon with the wear of the air suspension. Rear cylinders can leak after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. The front air bellows are much more tenacious. Sometimes it is necessary to eliminate air leaks through the fittings nipple. Front wheel bearings can make noise after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. They change in assembly with the hub. The rear bearings are changed separately, but they last much longer. The steering rack can knock or leak after passing over 150 to 200,000 kilometers. Grand Cherokees don't usually have corrosion problems. Plaque on chassis elements where the manufacturer did not protect parts from corrosion is natural. Rust on body parts appears after poor quality repair of damage resulting from an accident. However, there are exceptions. A number of owners have encountered defects in the factory paintwork of the hood, doors, in the area of the door handles, and the upper attachment point of the front fender. In restyled versions, fogging of the headlights is detected over time. Particular attention should be paid to the generator. Its weak point is the diode bridge. A number of cars came under a recall campaign to replace the generator. The plastic gears of the stove damper actuator become unusable after 150 to 200,000 kilometers. With age, the radiator of the air conditioner often surrenders. Before buying, you should spend money on a thorough diagnosis of the SUV in an authorized service. In addition to the history, it will be possible to check whether a given instance needs a service action, of which there were quite a few. If you know of other model malfunctions, be sure to write about it.